There are homes that look perfectly fine on the surface. Tidy rooms, pretty decor, everything in its place. But beneath that polished image, invisible traps are slowly bleeding out your good fortune. You might walk past them every single day without realizing that they're quietly stealing your energy, your money, and your peace of mind. Feng Shui calls them the silent killers of a home's harmony. Deadly flaws in the way energy moves through your space that can turn even the most beautiful house into a magnet for misfortune. And right now, if your home has any one of these three traps, bad luck isn't on its way. It's already here, sitting in your living room, sleeping in your bedroom, waiting for the right moment to strike. These aren't dramatic, movie-style omens. They are subtle, ordinary details you'd never think twice about. A plant drooping in the corner even though you water it regularly. A mirror that's not quite as bright as it used to be. A strange noise at night you brush off as just the house settling. But each of these is a warning flare. A signal that the flow of energy in your home has shifted in a dangerous direction. When that balance tips toward the negative, the results ripple into every part of your life. Constant arguments over little things, opportunities slipping through your fingers, sudden expenses, restless nights, and that gnawing sense that something just feels off in your own home. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what these three deadly Feng Shui traps are, how to recognize them before they drain you completely, and what you can do today to stop their curse in its tracks. Don't assume your home is safe just because it looks fine. Sometimes, the most dangerous energy is the one you've already learned to live with. Section 1. The Safe Zone 5 signs your home is protecting you. Before we dive into the traps that could be cursing your home, you need to understand what true protection feels like. Because once you know the signs of a space that's working for you, not against you, you'll notice instantly when something's off. Think of it like your own body. You know what it feels like to be healthy, so when you wake up one morning with a fever or a sharp pain, you don't ignore it. You know something is wrong. Your home works the same way. There are 5 undeniable signs that your space is actively shielding you from bad energy, amplifying your luck and quietly pushing you toward better opportunities. And if even one of these signs is missing, it's time to pay attention. The first sign is light. Not artificial light from bulbs or lamps, but sunlight, the kind that spills through your windows and dances across your floors. A home flooded with natural light feels alive, awake, and open. Sunlight carries energy that lifts your mood without you even realizing it. You start the day more alert, you move with more purpose, and the people who live there feel more connected and optimistic. On the flip side, a home that's perpetually dim, even during the day, often breeds a low, heavy atmosphere. People get tired more easily, tempers shorten, and the motivation to tackle life's challenges fades. So if your home greets you each morning with warm light that invites you to start the day, that's your first layer of protection. The second sign is air that moves freely. You can feel it when you step into a home where the air is fresh and clean. Your lungs expand just a little more, your shoulders drop, and you breathe deeper without thinking. This isn't just about smell, it's about flow. Stale, trapped air feels heavy, and over time it drags your own energy down with it. A protective home allows air to circulate naturally, carrying away stagnant vibes and inviting in something better. This might come from open windows, a well-placed fan, or even just an intentional layout that doesn't box you in. If you can open your front door and feel a gentle current move through the house, you're standing in a space that wants you to thrive. The third sign is the presence of life, specifically life that chooses to be near you. Birds that land on your fence, butterflies hovering near your porch, a neighborhood cat curling up on your doorstep. These aren't coincidences. Animals and insects are highly sensitive to energy. They avoid places that feel hostile or unsettled, and they gravitate toward environments that radiate calm, safety, and warmth. If your home is attracting these visitors, it's a strong indication that your space is giving off a frequency of peace and balance. The fourth sign is balance in your home's 2 core centers. the kitchen and your chosen sacred or meaningful space. For many people, the kitchen isn't just where meals are made, it's the emotional heart of the home. A kitchen that's clean, organized, and inviting reflects abundance and stability. It's where conversations happen, where plans are made, where people come together. The other center is whatever sacred or grounding space you personally connect with, a place where you feel anchored. For some, it's a reading nook. For others, it's a small table with family photos or mementos. When both of these spaces are well kept, the home feels grounded in both the practical and the personal, creating a strong barrier against outside negativity. The fifth and final sign is history, specifically, a history of joy within your walls. Every space holds onto the energy of what has happened inside it. Laughter, celebrations, and moments of deep connection leave an invisible imprint, just as arguments, grief, and neglect do. A home that has been a setting for warmth and happiness will keep that energy alive, even as time passes. You can feel it the moment you walk in. There's a softness, a sense of welcome that doesn't need to be spoken. If you've filled your home with happy memories, you've created a reservoir of positive energy that cushions you during harder times. These 5 signs, light, air, life, balanced centers, and joyful history, are your home's way of telling you, I've got you. You're safe here. They work together to form an invisible shield that keeps your space in alignment with your goals and your well-being. But here's the thing. Once that shield starts to weaken, the shift can happen fast. Maybe the sunlight doesn't seem as bright anymore. Maybe the air feels heavier. Maybe you notice fewer birds, or your kitchen becomes a place of clutter rather than connection. Maybe the space that once made you feel anchored now feels forgotten. And maybe, without realizing it, arguments start over small things, you feel more drained than usual, or you catch yourself thinking, I just don't feel like myself lately. That's why knowing these 5 signs matters. Because the moment one fades, it's a signal to act before it turns into something much worse. In a moment, we'll move into the 3 deadly Feng Shui traps that can unravel this protection entirely. But before we do, take a second to think about your own home. Do you wake up to sunlight? Do you breathe deeply without even noticing? Do living creatures choose to share your space? Is your kitchen a place of warmth and your grounding space still alive with meaning? Can you feel the echo of joyful days in your walls? If you can answer yes to all 5, your home is doing its job. If not, then it's time to find out which trap has already found its way inside, and how to dismantle it before it dismantles you. Trap #1 Plants dying like a funeral announcement. A dying plant is never just a dying plant. You may think it's about forgetting to water it, too much sunlight, or the wrong kind of soil, but if you've cared for it properly and it still withers, what you're looking at is not a gardening issue, it's an energy issue. In Feng Shui, plants are living, breathing symbols of vitality. They represent growth, renewal, and the constant flow of opportunities into your life. When they thrive, it's a sign your space is healthy and your personal energy is in sync with it. But when they start to fade for no clear reason, leaves yellowing, stems collapsing, soil smelling sour, it's like your home is sending you a black-edged letter announcing that its life force is in decline. And here's the part that most people don't realize. Plants are far more sensitive to shifts in energy than we are. They feel the stagnation, the tension, the invisible weight in the air before you do. By the time you notice their decline, the negative energy has already started wrapping itself around your home. That's when you see other symptoms creeping in. Your business slows down, bills pile up unexpectedly, relationships in the house grow short-tempered, sleep becomes restless. It's all connected because in Feng Shui, everything in your environment either supports or sabotages your flow of luck and well-being. The reason plants respond so clearly is because they are rooted in one place. They can't move away from an unhealthy environment the way animals or people can. So they absorb whatever's in the space, and if it's toxic, emotionally, energetically, or physically, they deteriorate. That's why ignoring this sign is so dangerous. You're not just losing a plant, You're watching your home's early warning system go off in real time. If this is happening in your space, the fix is urgent and precise. First, remove any plant that's already dead or beyond saving. Don't keep it around hoping it might bounce back. It won't. In Feng Shui, dead plants don't just fail to bring good energy, they actively hold on to bad energy, like a sponge soaking up negativity and releasing it slowly into the room. Get them out, pot and all if needed. Next, clean the containers thoroughly with a concentrated saltwater solution. Salt is a natural neutralizer. It cuts through stagnant energy and resets the space. Replace the soil completely. Don't reuse old dirt that may be holding the same heaviness that hurt the last plant. Choose replacements wisely. Go for plants that are known to be strong energy conductors: pothos, snake plants, money trees, jade, or succulents. These varieties don't just survive easily. They actively feed the space with steady, clean growth energy. Position them in spots where they can breathe, where air moves, where they get adequate but not overwhelming sunlight. To boost their protective power, place a small bowl of rock salt or a few clear quartz crystals near their base. Both act like energetic purifiers, constantly absorbing low vibrations so your plants can thrive without interference. And don't underestimate the role of fresh air. Open your windows every single day, even in winter, if only for a few minutes. That burst of oxygen-rich air is like a deep breath for your plants, and for you, it flushes out what's stale and pulls in what's fresh. The key here is consistency. One quick cleanup won't solve an ongoing energy leak. You have to commit to maintaining the plants as active guardians of your home's vitality. Pay attention to them. Notice the way their leaves perk up or droop, the color of their new growth, the texture of their soil. These aren't just random details. They are direct feedback about the health of your home's energy. And remember, the goal isn't to turn you into a plant caretaker out of guilt. It's to reconnect you with the visible signs of invisible changes in your environment. In a world where most of us are too distracted to notice what's right in front of us, your plants are the simplest, most honest way to see if your home is helping you or hurting you. When they're green, full, and growing, they're telling you your space is feeding you in all the ways that matter. When they're withering, they're telling you to act now. If you've been brushing it off, thinking, "I'll deal with it later," stop. Later is when the damage has already spread into your finances, your health, and your peace of mind. Think of your plants as the canary in the coal mine for your home's energy. If the canary stops singing, the miners know to get out before it's too late. If your plants stop thriving, it's your signal to clear, cleanse, and reset your space immediately. That's not superstition, that's paying attention. And paying attention is what keeps your home from quietly becoming your enemy. Trap #2 cracked or cloudy mirrors, a blinded eye. A mirror is more than just a piece of glass hanging on your wall, it's the eye of your home. It doesn't just reflect your face, it reflects the energy of the space itself, amplifying whatever is already there. When it's clear, bright, and flawless, it doubles the light, expands the room, and projects clarity and balance back into your life. But when it's cracked or foggy, it's like that eye has gone blind, distorting what it sees and what it sends back into your world. The danger here is subtle but devastating. A damaged mirror doesn't just fail to reflect beauty. It becomes a gateway for negativity to seep in, and for the good energy you've built up to leak out. If you've ever walked past a cracked mirror and felt a little jolt, or caught your reflection in a cloudy one and thought you looked tired or washed out, that's not vanity. It's your instincts picking up on a disruption. In Feng Shui, a crack is more than a flaw in the glass. It's a fracture in the flow of energy. It invites chaos where there should be order, confusion where there should be clarity. People who have ignored a cracked mirror often describe the same patterns. More frequent arguments in the home, sudden financial setbacks, a general feeling of being unsettled without knowing why. Even a mirror that's just cloudy or dull can have a similar effect. It signals that energy in the space has gone stagnant, and instead of bouncing light and positivity back into the room, it's reflecting back a haze, both literally and emotionally. Over time, this drains motivation, clouds decision-making, and erodes confidence. You might notice it in small ways at first. You stop looking in that mirror, or when you do, you don't like what you see. That disconnection grows quietly, and before you know it, you've adapted to a lower standard of how your space and your life feel. The fix here is not optional, it's immediate. If the mirror is cracked, remove it completely. Don't try to tape it, hide the damage, or tell yourself it's not that bad. In energetic terms, a broken mirror is like leaving your front door wide open in the middle of the night. You're letting in what you'd never willingly invite. If the mirror is cloudy, it can be restored, but it has to be done with intention. Clean it with a strong saltwater solution, or with water boiled from cleansing herbs like eucalyptus or rosemary, plants known for their purifying properties. Wipe from the center outward, as if you're pushing out the old, stagnant energy and making space for light to return. While you clean, visualize the glass clearing not just on the surface, but in the energy it holds until it shines again. When replacing a mirror, choose one with a round or oval frame. In Feng Shui, these shapes symbolize harmony and continuous flow, qualities you want to invite and multiply in your home. Place it where it can catch and reflect natural light, like opposite a bright window or in a hallway that tends to feel dark. That way, every ray of sunshine that enters your home gets doubled and spread further, infusing your space with an ongoing current of positive energy. Most importantly, remember that mirrors are amplifiers. They will magnify whatever is in front of them. If they face clutter, they'll double that chaos. If they face beauty, they'll double that too. So be intentional about what your mirrors are reflecting, because they are not passive objects, they're active participants in the life and mood of your home. The state of your mirrors says a lot about the state of your space, and by extension, the state of your life. A clear, bright mirror says you value clarity, self-respect, and openness. A cracked or cloudy one says you've been tolerating distortions, and those distortions will eventually show up in your relationships, your finances, and your sense of self. Don't underestimate how quickly the blinded eye of a damaged mirror can pull the whole energy of your home downward. This is one of the easiest traps to fix, but only if you take it seriously and act without delay. The moment you replace or restore that mirror, you'll feel the shift, not just in the room, but in yourself. That's the power of removing an obstacle that's been quietly working against you. And in the bigger picture of your home's energy, it's one less opening for misfortune to walk through. Trap #3 Nighttime noises, spirits that haven't left. Nighttime is supposed to be the most peaceful time in your home, the hours when everything rests, when your body repairs itself, and when the energy of your space should be still and protective. But if you've ever been lying in bed and heard something that made you freeze, a slow drip from a faucet that's turned off, soft but deliberate footsteps in a hallway where no one's walking, the faint thump of something falling only to find nothing there, then you've experienced one of the most unsettling warnings a home can give you. These are not just old house sounds you should shrug off. In Feng Shui, the night hours are when yin energy is at its peak. A home in balance uses that time to recharge. But when the energy is disrupted, night becomes the moment when the imbalance is loudest. Literally, repeated unexplained noises in the quietest hours are a sign that your home is holding onto something heavy. Stagnant energy trapped in forgotten corners, emotional residue from unresolved conflicts, or in some cases, the lingering presence of a spiritual imprint that hasn't moved on. The effects aren't just about fear. They show up in real, tangible ways. People living in spaces with these disturbances often feel drained during the day, even after a full night's sleep. They may argue more often, experience unexpected setbacks, or notice an uptick in minor accidents and illnesses. It's as if the home is no longer a sanctuary, but an open channel for chaos. The first step in clearing this trap is physical. Deep clean your home, especially the places you rarely touch. Under the bed, behind heavy furniture, inside storage closets at the top of the stairs. These are prime spots for stagnant energy to collect. As you clean, open every window you can. Let the air move through the house, sweeping out the heaviness you can't see. Once the space is clean, you need to reset its vibration. Light a candle or burn something with a calming, purifying scent like sandalwood, sage, or eucalyptus. As the scent moves through the air, imagine it filling the space with clarity and pushing out anything that doesn't belong. Sound is another powerful tool here. Hang a set of metal wind chimes near your main entrance or in a spot where a natural breeze can pass through. The clear, ringing tones work like an energetic broom, breaking apart dense pockets of yin energy and inviting harmony back into the flow of the house. If you want to go deeper, you can create a short, intentional ritual. Place a bowl of clean water in the center of the room where the noises seem to originate. Light 3 candles or sticks of incense and speak, out loud, your wish for the space to be calm, safe, and balanced. It doesn't have to be poetic, it just has to be sincere. Energy responds to intention more than anything else. The goal isn't to banish in some dramatic sense, but to make it clear that your home is not a place where disruptive energy is welcome. And if you think this is unnecessary because the noises have stopped, remember that they were never the real problem. They were the symptom. Without clearing the cause, the imbalance can show up again in another form. Think of it like a leak in your roof. You might not see the drip every day, but until the hole is fixed, the damage keeps spreading silently. Once you've taken these steps, pay attention to how the space feels at night. True quiet isn't just the absence of sound, it's the presence of stillness, the sense that the air itself is settled and supportive. When you have that, you'll notice your sleep deepens, your mood steadies, and you wake up with more energy. That's the difference between a home that's under siege from invisible forces and one that's fully on your side. A lot of people underestimate this trap because they think it's all in their head, but your body knows when something is wrong. The hairs on the back of your neck rising, the way you hold your breath without meaning to, the tension in your shoulders as you listen for another sound. These are instinctive responses. Ignoring them is like ignoring a fire alarm because you don't see smoke yet. Nighttime noises are your home's way of telling you it's carrying too much weight, too much unrest. The sooner you respond, the sooner you reclaim the peace that should be yours every time the lights go out. Final, your home is more than walls and a roof. It's an extension of you. Every choice you make about it and every detail you overlook becomes part of the environment that shapes your mood, your health, and your future. The 3 traps we've just walked through, plants that die without reason, mirrors that no longer reflect clearly, and strange noises that haunt the night, may seem unrelated on the surface, but they are all signals of the same thing. The flow of energy in your home has been disrupted. Think of your space as a living ecosystem. When the balance is right, everything supports everything else. Light feeds life, air moves freely, and the atmosphere feels calm, welcoming, and safe. But when that balance tips even slightly, it doesn't just affect the air you breathe or the way the rooms look. It seeps into your daily life. A drooping plant isn't just about bad soil. It's a sign that vitality is draining from the space. A cracked or cloudy mirror isn't just wear and tear. It's a fracture in the way your home reflects opportunity and clarity back to you. Nighttime noises aren't just the house settling. They are your environment's way of telling you that something heavy and unresolved has taken root. Science may explain these things in physical terms. Plants respond to air quality and light levels. Glass deteriorates over time, and buildings make sounds as they expand and contract. But Feng Shui adds another layer, reminding us that physical conditions and energy conditions are inseparable. Change one, and you influence the other. That's why fixing these traps works on both levels. You improve the physical state of your home, and you reset its energetic state at the same time. The truth is, a safe and supportive home doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you pay attention. You notice when something changes. You take small actions before they turn into big problems. You understand that your surroundings are in constant conversation with your life. So after today, don't walk past a fading plant, a flawed mirror, or an unexplained sound without asking yourself, what is my home trying to tell me? Because when you start listening, you'll realize it's been speaking to you all along. And in that moment, you'll have the choice and the power to make sure it's speaking words of protection, growth, and peace.